Good afternoon, everyone. How are we all doing today? Right, I know that we're all excited with this fifth staging of Man Talk in terms of the topic at hand, polygamy versus monogamy. I am expecting I don't want to say the word heated, but I'm expecting a spirited discussion from the panelists and, of course, the persons that are actually in the audience. I know that we're looking forward to it, and I hope that it's an interactive meeting today. So, at this point in time, I would like to call up Brother Jerry Neal Richards to invite the Lord into our presence, because nothing is good without the Lord, and the Lord will bring us to a perfect start. So, Brother Jerry Neal.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Dear God, our Heavenly Father, we just give you thanks and praises because you are a good God. Lord, we just thank you for bringing us here at this moment, at this time, because you are our Father, you are our shepherd. We are the sheep of your pasture, Lord. We humble ourselves before you right now, and we ask that you will come in our midst. God, we just ask your divine protection for those who are still on their way. And those of us who are here and will remain here, God, may your Spirit just bring forth an understanding. May all the various topics, subtopics, and nuances of this particular topic be explored, and may all the panelists, the guest speakers, oh Lord, may you just put your hand on this presentation, and may you, oh Lord, that this seminar, as it go forth on the internet, those who listen will learn and will know what is the truth. Oh Lord, thank you, and may your Spirit continue to be with us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Brother Richards. So, gentlemen, are we ready? Are the mans them present? Who? Mans? Mandea. All right, awesome. So at this point in time, I'd also like to introduce or call upon our esteemed president, Sister Teacher Clark Griffiths, OD, MBA.
What is it that a woman is actually hosting this topic, Man Talk 101, which is pretty much this fifth year staging. And let me tell you, every year I look forward to what will be discussed. So far, this type of forum has brought together national benefits, because men in the public sector now enjoys paternity leave. It started at Man Talk 101 in its first year, and I think they need to give a round of applause for that. When I stand, but I also believe that it is powerful when men are given the space to wrestle with these questions, concerns, and also ideas and measures against my own faith. But you have to provide the space, and I believe that the JCSA has come a far way in making this type of space available to men of the JCSA, and by extension, those that are joining us online. I want to thank the panelists for being here today. Thank you for being part of this discussion, and I know that it will be quite intensive. I know, Pastor, that you have your own ideology, and so does everybody else on the platform. So I look forward to a very spirited presentation by each of you gentlemen, and also
in allowing this forum to be had today. The next person to bring greetings should have been the Honorable Minister Olivia Grange, MPCD, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport. However, regrettably, she's unavoidably absent today. However, she did not forget about us and has sent an able person to represent her today. And I would like to invite Mr. Janoy Harrison to bring greetings on behalf of Minister Olivia Babsy Grange. I see Janoy shaking his hand, shaking his head, saying, no, 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 no. No greetings? All right. Well, I think Babs would like to say that she is happy that this forum.
Mission statement, it can be found on the agenda. You don't have that? After three, one, few, three. The Jamaica Civil Service Association seeks to uphold the highest quality of professional service to the nation through the guarantee of a highly trained workforce of competent and committed persons whose legitimate interests are safeguarded and affirmed through membership in the organization. Thank you. Master of Ceremonies, Mrs. Tisha Clark Griffiths, OD, President of the JCSA. I see member of the Officer Corps, distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, and especially to my own team at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, to our colleagues online, and also to Jamaica. Good morning, or good afternoon. It is my honor to bring the opening remarks of the 5th staging of Man Talk 101. Today, we hope to dive deep into the discussion of monogamy versus polygamy, the social impact. Man Talk 101, thank you, and let the conversations begin.
Thank you, Brother Carter. Put your hands together for Brother Carter once more, man. Give him a round in applause. All right, so let me just give you an overview as to how this discussion will flow. We're going to be having a series of presentations, and then after we have our presentation, it's a panel discussion, and we'll actually open up the floor for questions and answers that anyone may have. So at this point in time, I would like to invite to the stage again the man who led us in prayer, Brother Jerry Neal Richards, to introduce or bring the introduction for our first guest speaker, who is Mr. Pastor Leroy Hutchinson. Put your hands together and make Brother Jerry Neal Richards feel welcome, please. Guys, he's a pastor, and I don't want him to put in a good word for the pearly gates. Make him feel more welcome than that, no man.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. What I want to say is it's interesting that it's not a podium up here. Understand? It's just a table. Interesting. And of course, it sets the stage for something interesting coming up. All right, so I'm going to introduce to you our first guest speaker. I was having some technology issues here. Here we go. Sorry about that. And that's why you're supposed to have your little paper thing, because these things give a lot of challenges sometimes. Always paper-based. All right, here we go. Still having some challenges. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. All right. I'm going to introduce to you Pastor Leroy N. Hutchinson. Now, Pastor Leroy Hutchinson is a purpose advocate. That means he's a man of God, a Christian, whose primary aim is to lead and empower, a mentor, as you may call him. Leroy is a youth speaker who has traveled all over the world to fulfill his international obligations and mandate through the Eastern Caribbean, North and South America, and even Africa. He is a pastor for the Church of God of Prophecy at Waterloo, Spanish Town Road, and serves as the National Director for the Church of God of Prophecy, Jamaica. I'm sure he would invite us all to come and be part of his congregation. He serves as summer camp director for the teens and lectures as the New Covenant Bible Institute of the Caribbean, that's NCBIC. Leroy is a licensed financial advisor and a manager of the Sagicor department at the Pinnacle Insurance Broker and the author of 6 books. He is the founder and CEO of the OYR Group Limited, which is comprised of 4 subsidiaries: Operational Youth Reap and School of Mission, Mentoring and Evangelism, which are both non-profit organizations with a capable team of leaders of over 200 volunteers across Jamaica. OYR Books and Publishing, a company he co-founded with his wife, Anne Monique, and OYR Leadership Solutions. He studied at the Jamaica Theological Seminar, New Covenant Bible Institute of the Caribbean, and holds certificates in project management and public speaking from the University of the West Indies and small business management from Northern Caribbean University. He enjoys spending time with his beautiful wife, Anne Monique, and daughters, Ronoya, Kajane, and Leanne Amoy. So help me welcome this outstanding gentleman who will lead the charge as our first guest speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. How's everybody doing? Man there, right? And some women too. All right? Nothing is wrong with that. Let me greet everybody here today, the president for the Jamaica Civil Servant Association. Civil Service Association, not Civil Servant, my bad. Civil Servant is in my head. And also all the team members and so on who have excellently planned this forum, and all those who are watching online. And of course, my father is in the midst. We have the same name, right? So if it's a Leroy Hutchins, you're talking both of us. But my task today, friends, is to share on monogamy. As you know, the theme, when I heard the theme, monogamy versus polygamy, I laughed. And I said, all right, let's take it on. So I was told that I'm supposed to present quickly on monogamy. And I said, all right. So it's not a discussion part yet, you know. I'm just presenting. So don't stone me yet. All right? So I'm presenting on monogamy, a.k.a. one burner. Right? Presenting on one burner. Right? We're familiar with one burner, right? Oh, my God. But anyways, so 4 burner. Okay. 1 burner at a time. All right. Let's move into it. Too early for it, you know. All right. So what is monogamy? Of course, the practice or state of having a sexual partner with a sexual relationship, rather, with only one partner at a time. And I heard, you know, literature, music, driving moments in education, philanthropy, all of these things, its ethics teaching have been integrated into moral codes. So the Bible has a profound influence on the world, right? While its narrative and character have provided fundamental themes from many cultural work, the Bible also contributed to development of science, right? Foster movement for social justice, demonstrating its enduring impact on society. You know, fundamentally when you think about the Bible and these questions of purpose. So, if I am going to use the Bible as my basis of truth, we must understand that we cannot be biased. This one man with one woman. The first instance of polygamy or bigamy in the Bible was in Genesis chapter 4 and verse 19, where Lamech married 2 women, and several prominent men in the Old Testament were polygamists. Abraham, Jacob, David, and of course Solomon, with the 700 wives, and the 300 concubines, and all these things. And a man wonder how the man managed so many women. But finances, right? So what we are, what we say today is that polygamy in the Old Testament, it exists, but it's not God's ideal for relationship. So I want to present 3 things quickly. 1, why did God allow polygamy in the Old Testament? 2, how does God view polygamy today? And 3, why is it different? Why change? Right? So number 1, why did God allow polygamy in the Old Testament? The Bible does not specifically say male figure around her in Bible days. It's highly likely she would be by the wayside with nobody, because it was a male culture society. That was the early Jewish culture at the time. Number 2, how does God view polygamy today, and what is happening in the world? Let me skip around the Bible a little bit. So in a piece wrote for the Wall Street Journal in 2011, Rose McDermott, a professor of political science at Brown University, wrote about a research on polygamy, which is practiced by substantial countries and different subcultures in France and Britain and US and in different places in the world. According to the information I have garnered, she said, and I've managed to collect through this database, women in polygamous community get married younger, have more children, have higher rate of HIV infection than men, sustain more domestic violence, succumb to more female genital mutilation and sex trafficking, and are more likely to die in childbirth. Their life expectancy is also shorter than that of their monogamous sisters. In addition, their children, both boys and girls, are less likely to receive both primary and secondary education. There are those who might argue that it is precisely because of illegalities of polygamy that these groups are kept from joining mainstream society. But McDermott suggests that another factor is at work. Polygamous culture need to create and sustain an unclass of married and undereducated men. Since in order to sustain a system where a few men possesses all the women, roughly half of the boys must leave the community before adulthood. Such society also spend more money on weapons and display fewer social and political freedoms than do monogamous ones. When small number of men control large number of women, the remaining men are likely to be willing to take greater risk and engage in more violence, possibly including terrorism, in order to increase their own wealth and status in hopes of gaining access to women. And so even while, recording cases of polygamy in the Bible, present polygamy, right, as present polygamy as the plan that confirms most closely to God's ideal for marriage, right? Monogamy is the plan that God has closest to his idea of marriage. The Bible said that God's original intention was for one man to be married to one woman. Why did it change? It is not so much that God disallowed something he had previously allowed, as it is that God restored marriage to its original plan. So it's not that God just suddenly wanted polygamy and then him just suddenly changed it to monogamy. It's a restoration process. Even in the New Testament, is a plan is emerging. As seen in Genesis 2, we read that before, polygamy was not God's original intent. God seemed to have allowed polygamy to solve a problem, but that solution was not the ideal. In most modern societies, there is absolutely no need for polygamy. In most cultures today, women are able to provide for and protect themselves, removing the only positive aspect of polygamy in the past. Further, most modern nations outlaw polygamy. It is no longer prohibited. It is no longer legal. According to Romans 13, verse 1 to 7, if we go back to the Bible, we are to obey the law the government established, including the laws prohibiting polygamy. In conclusion, my friends, are these some instances in which the allowance for polygamy would still apply today? Perhaps, but it is, unfathomable that there would be no other solution. Due to the one flesh aspect of marriage, the need for oneness and harmony in marriage, and the lack of any real need for polygamy, it is in my firm belief that polygamy does not honor God and is not designed for marriage, whether you are a Christian marriage or you are a non-Christian marriage. The need for intimacy with one person stands for God in my view. It is too easy, and let me say polygamy is only easier for men. Can be proven in many articles, many testimonials by women. Suicidal rates are higher with these women because they are under persecution in some areas. Not because it feels good. It doesn't mean that it's a good idea. Stick to a monogamous relationship. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Hutchinson. We are off to a very interesting start. The pastor came with biblical reference. He also came with empirical data through the forum of the study from Brown University. So we can see that this discussion is actually going to be a very heated one, because I was looking at the faces of the panelists there, and I know that they're itching to rebut. But until that time, firstly, please allow me to welcome and acknowledge our General Secretary, Mrs. Tiffany Powell Williams. Put your hands together and make her feel welcome. Thank you for your presence, Ms. Williams. And at this point in time, I'm going to be introducing our second guest speaker. And I'm very happy to be introducing this person, as this person I go way back from 2010, I believe, 2011, when we were both on campus together at the University of the West Indies. So it is my distinct honor to introduce Mr. Courtney Francis, who is an entrepreneur, social media influencer over the last 2 weeks, racking up about 25,000 views. I don't know if you guys are on TikTok and Instagram. Over the last 2 weeks, he did some controversial videos that the women are not too pleased with. Mr. Williams believes that we're supposed to take out our women maybe 4 times for the year, once per quarter, and I'm in agreement with him. The women say, but there are 365 days. Mr. Williams says, but yes, 4 paychecks, 12 paychecks for the year, so you get 4 paychecks out for yourself. Mr. Williams, I would consider to be self-made. Mr. Francis, that is. Self-made, successful young man who has a positive impact anywhere that he goes. So at this point in time, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Courtney Francis, our second speaker.
All right, good. What time now? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so based on the panel, I think we have obviously rev for monogamy, but all right, my apologies. All right, so based on the panel, I realize that we have rev for monogamy, and the other 2 gentlemen seem that they're up for polygamy. Am I right? Okay. Now, I don't feel fear, say, the monogamous pastor must be outnumbered. I'm a little troublemaker. Yeah, yeah, I'm going to switch allegiance right now. Oh, may I have support? Yeah. All right, so for me, I focus a lot on male development, right? And I think a lot of men have a very long way to go before we start talking about polygamy. We have grown men that can't provide for themselves, much less one woman, much less two. And I am saying if we're going to do polygamy in a respectful manner, let's bring back Exodus, where the Bible states that if you are going to take on a second wife, your first wife should not be short of anything. You should not be dropping her standards just so you can take on this second wife. And the ugly truth is, when I go out in society, I wouldn't introduce any woman that I care for to a large majority of these men. We are growing a society of nuclear family, much less 2 and 3, because in the societies where I see polygamy works the best, you have totally different households. It's not 3 wives under one roof. Those situations tend to carry some amount of confusion, but when you have different households, it is easier to manage assets. It's easier to distribute certain responsibilities because Betsy don't want to be cleaning up Keisha's mess. And she going to say, no, man, Keisha, use them plate them. And I go, what? That causes confusion. So it have different households. And as I say, most of the young men now, they can't even take on a household of their own. How are you going to now manage 2, 3 wives? No, I will say this. A big problem now in our society is that, as I stated before, you have a lot of men going into prison, violence. So there's a big gender gap. But I also think as men, we can fix that gender gap. Because it's not that more women are being born than men. That's not the issue, you know. It's that men become more careless with their lives. We take unnecessary risks. We do foolishness, we get violent, and we end up in situations where we are either cut off from this earth or we are cut off from society. And then that creates the gender gap that then creates the need for polygamy, where you're going to have...
So the salient points from Mr. Francis's presentation is that if we're to head into a society that can fully accommodate polygamy properly, we need to focus on male development. And I see nothing wrong with that. He made a point about men taking unnecessary risks. I can tell you that as a financial advisor, insurance costs more for men. So he has a very valid point there. So I believe that this discussion has been good so far. At this point in time, I'd like to call on Brother Livingston Burnett to introduce our third guest speaker, Mr. Ryan Martin. And I am expecting that this presentation is actually going to be dynamic and explosive based on his body language thus far. Brother Burnett? Put your hands together and make him feel welcome, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So, Mr. Ryan Martin is not into the big showdown before he gets to speak. So he just wants you to know that he's 47 years old. He's 13 years polygamous. He has 4 kids and 1 is on the way. And he's based in Montego Bay. And he's a businessman and an influencer. So help us welcome Mr. Ryan Martin.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. All right, let me just start. I was brought here to represent polygamy. It's in no way, shape, or form I'm against monogamy. Polygamy is an option. We live in a society that we are plagued with where the divorce rate is very high. Marriages fail on a regular. Or I must say, men are naturally polygamous, and we live in a society where we are cultured to be monogamous, but a man's nature is naturally polygamous. I have been in a monogamous relationship for 14 years. And it's not because of infidelity or anything like that why we separated. It was because we grew apart. We were on different levels, different trains at the time. And in coming out of that monogamous relationship, I immediately went into my relationship with my first common law wife, which we've been together now for 15 years. All three of us, 2 years later, we met our partner, and all three of us has been together for. So you don't have to marry into wealth anymore. Polygamy can create wealth based on teamwork and synergy. Women nowadays, they are executives, CEOs, and they have high jobs. So imagine having 2 wives, 3 wives, and yourself working in an industry and earning a certain amount of income that deals with the economic standards of a relationship or family rearing. My friend here was talking about, yes, men, we are in a society of wimps, and men need to drop them socks, yes. But at the same time, polygamy gives that responsibility that can also nurture what is needed in these young boys. Because of having these multiple females or wives or partners, it takes your mindset on a different level. It's just like a man if him have a license gun and start behaving himself, he get karma because he knows him will go to prison. It's an easy way to explain it like that, right? But I've heard Pastor Hutchison talk about men being terrorists. A polygamous mindset is a structured mindset, a mindset of discipline, a mindset of organization. He cannot tell me one thing that polygamy or one benefit outside of polygamy that you can get in outside of monogamy that you can't get in polygamy. As a matter of fact, what does polygamy embody? Polygamy embodies, it gets rid of the toxic traits. No lies, no deceit, nothing like that. Cheating would be nil. Cheating would be nil. As a man that is in a relationship for 13 years, once polygamy is done properly, I'm not talking about the boys and from the immature standpoint. Once you develop the emotional maturity and it's structured correctly, as I have done it and have been doing it, a lot, if you notice, Pastor come with his phone and you have his notes and you have to follow off his notes. I'm telling you for life. I don't know that. I'm telling you for life. So, I don't know, guess and spell. So, who wants to argue?
He is on the side of polygamy. So Mr. Burnett will be introducing him, and we'll hear from his presentation as well.
Thank you, Brother Reed. Again, brief introduction because we want to hear from Brother David. T.R. David is a Nigerian nurse with special interest in family health, human behaviors, psychology, mental illness, and mental health. He has worked in various health institutions in Nigeria and is currently working as a mental health nurse with the KPH. Let us welcome Mr. David.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here, and we say I'm elated. Right from I will just take my, nobody can know more about polygamy more than me. Uh, Unfortunately, today is my 21 years in marriage. And today, fortunately, I want to take it right from the beginning of when they say men. We should understand the word men. Sometimes we mix up the word men from boys. When you are talking of men, of who goes into marriage, it is men, not boys. So when you are talking about catering for that you have to prepare for your home or to be able to build yourself, you have to understand the topic or the concept of a man. A man is not somebody who is being nurtured. It's somebody who is nurturing, who can nurture somebody. That goes to what the pastor says. When you are to cater for a home, you must be prepared. Nobody can be prepared unless you are a man. So, and I created, they were made to follow a pattern of way that is polygamy. And because they are deviating from that path, moving towards monogamy, we see things turning upside down. I want to say that I'm not against monogamy. I am not totally in support of one-way things. We always say, look before you leave. If you cannot swim, don't jump into the ocean. So when you jump into it, it's going to carry you away. So those who are matured enough to get into a polygamy, you will find out that there are more benefits in polygamy than in monogamy. I am not going into that now, but I want us to know that the way man is wired, if I ask this, into a lot of crimes because they are being forced to do what they don't want to do. And it is not because of them, it is because of the policies that is in situation. If you look at maybe last year in a country in Africa, Swaziland, for example, Swaziland, the government announced, if you want to be a citizen of my country as a man, you can come and marry how many wives? 5. If you cannot marry 5 wives, don't come. Come and marry 5 wives. That the government has, so you can check it is online, it is everywhere. Come and marry, you will automatically become a citizen. And the same thing happened in Eritrea. Come and marry 4 wives, and we will give you the citizen. But you cannot do that. What does that one tell you? You see a situation where you have monogamy, you have a lot of females who are left behind without husband or without a partner. That is just the story about some of those things. But in short essence, we want to know that polygamy offers us and gives us more benefit and more longevity. My grandfather died at 146 years. He has 8 wives. And when we were doing the burial, we were more than 400 grand and great grandchildren.
Before I introduce the fifth guest speaker, Brother David, how do we apply for that Swaziland citizenship? I think you need to share that with all the men here. And apparently that works. Huh? And how is the dollar over there as well, you know? Swaziland, to become a citizen, you need to marry 5 wives. That's what you were saying. Eswatini. I'll be there by the end of the year. Okay. All right. So we have a very special guest speaker for our closing speaker before we head into the discussion. I won't even say his name. I will just ask Brother Burnett again to come up and do this introduction.
Thanks again. So our special guest is Patrick Curlylocks Gaynor, one half of the duo Twin of Twins, well-known singer, Grammy-nominated songwriter, author, comedian, and voiceover specialist. He is also considered the father of Nuanced Thought, a moniker he earned through his book Planet Hurt, H-U-R-T, and he's popular in the Meantime podcast.
Materialistic, richest households are the poorest one them, you know. And some of the literally poorest one them and some of the richest one them, you know. Because them have people who mature spiritually, not just age, but them grow and evolve and have a thing named discipline. For real. Polygamy to me would have worked better if you'd have a type of person where at the core of them existence is a value where make them always go back to humility. Once we live in a society where teach we to compete and not cooperate, then how will polygamy work? We are looking on the sexual aspect of it. Boy, the girl are two girl. Everybody are bow to the same set of evil. Just in a different period. The same set of weakness. So I consider that. What am I talk about? Them say, what separate we from the animal is what? The ability to think and be intelligent and to organize. No? Me wrong? What separate man from the rest of animals? Because here what? The Bible says man was given dominion over the animal. In my interpretation of this, the animal within man is that primal thing where at its basic instinct it go off of just instinct. Animal where you see out a road, it not have free will. It programmed to be a particular way and that's it. At a primal setting, where the animal there. And you sacrifice. Because you are fallen man. It's the animal. The one who rise above the animal is the man where God did intend. The architect. I make we not go in at the 80s and the God and the this. Whatsoever make this, something make this. This is no accident. Me not believe that. So, me no business what you want to call it. It real. We can agree upon that? Man was given dominion over the animal. The first one, himself. To rise above that and organize a life. Make order out of chaos. See confusion and make a life out of it. So, okay, let's say we have these primal urges where at the core where man think of and it cross your mind and it feel good, you must do. You know what I mean? You have to do it. So go eat anything then. Go on. Let me see how that work out for your diabetes and your clot. Look how much things there if it's sweet, you know? Sex is the same thing, it's sweet. But if we are going to do it properly, it have to organize. It have to organize. Having the home here, having this thing where we put this together and have a family and say this way I do. Alright, so you what then? Polygamy. Boy, the man must have 2 women and 3 women and 5 women. Alright, I could say that at you. That means to say then, well, really I said this so. Mankind, which include woman, must do the same thing. When my dead left me pick me a fool, you turn in a world with them. Because you don't have a strong strength of character, you can't reason, you don't have no intelligence. Because all you knew was you're supposed to wash plate. Go sit on one side here, man. Me rather not no woman. Me rather not no woman at all. Think of it. If we bow to a primal nature, if we bow to that and say it right, it's simple meaning, you know. Remember that are the animal, you know. Because we use science all the time. Science says that 30 men can impregnate all the women in the world. So it means 100% that a man is supposed to have more than 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. All right. Who don't like that? Jump off of somewhere, you know? I'm glad to see you jump over there because you're useless. You have to love challenge as a man. Society too sweet now, man. Jesus Christ. Nobody no want nothing hard. What you think the people must suffer so now in a society? Why? Everything bow to them. I feel that way. Okay, carry life, go give them that way there. You have to make order out of chaos. You have to make order out of chaos. This is what God intended for man when we requested free will. When we requested, oh, I want my own way, God said, all right, cool. It's going to be something you have to go work and make your way back. You have your trolley. No, you can't take up anything off of the shelf. It opens at 8 and closes at 9. You can go in from 8 and stay till 9, you know. But until you join the line and cash out, lose something for that which you have chosen, you not choose it yet. You keep your option open. And this is what's wrong with the society. Nobody's choosing anybody out of fear of missing out. Out of a fear of making the wrong choice. When you choose something, you decide, say, I eat this. I eat this. You're 19 now and you're young and your belly flat and you look so good and the breast them stiff. When you have 3 belly at 45-year-old, I still eat this. Because I have chosen you. What do you think? The man rich beyond measure. I want to jump off of somewhere every day. Because of what I have to do for maintain all of that. Success is coming to terms. It's a life of suffering. Relief is death. Life is pain, pain is life, relief is death. No one wants to come to terms with this. Something's supposed to bow to me and make me happy. Why do you think most people are killing themselves nowadays? Because we've removed the ideas of people for struggle with something out of society. It's gone. In today's society more than anything else. Where you can just look and press a button and when you look, she's prettier than me. Oh my God, she looks so successful. What is my man? Like I hear him say earlier too. The average man now go just know how to deal with that. Them not go just adjust to that. Them all just be little boys forever. Thinking like a teenager. If you're not a fully mature man, none of the two can work for you. None of the above. One is not better or worse than the other. Two are be an idiot in them. Be a little boys who wants vagina. You know past this yet, sir? You know past the part there. A relationship should be, to me, in closing, way more than sex. This is what makes the idea of polygamy so attractive to most men, you know. More sex. You don't like yourself, man. You don't like yourself. You don't like yourself. In them attitude, in them, the way them deal with me. The behavior they, and nobody couldn't believe. When me tell Miss Pretty say go one side, me never cheat on her, I'm done with her. Because I find somebody, though uglier than you, though not as attractive, though not as classy, who have that type of understanding and know how to choose. Breast cancer killer, where God rest her soul, me and her left over 20 years, but that's not the point. A choice and a selection are two different things. And we are select here. Most of our marriage them now work because we are select. Because so
I think I don't know. I'm not usually at a loss for words, but Mr. Gaynor, that was interesting. Honestly,
Me not no script either.
Yeah. You know, I'm quite surprised. This is why you must never judge a book by its cover, because I'm quite surprised by Mr. Gaynor's stance on the matter. Given that I would have met him, or not met him previously in person, but we'd have met him through the dancehall sphere. And you can turn it on now at this point in time. I think Mr. David has a mic as well. And of course, we'll be opening the floor to persons in the audience to ask questions. All right. So any question from the floor or on the field left out? I saw a young man in the black shirt with a question. So let me go ahead and red shirt, standing. You want a question? You have a question? Okay. Let me just come down to you. I'll be roaming, and let's get into the meat of the matter. You have anything to retort to any other guys?
In regards to his conversation, most of his conversation was steered at finding the wrong woman. But what about when you find the right woman and find two of them? Do you know what it's like to play chess with two queens? That's all I have to say.
Right. Because when you bring it right, flowing, after that strong presentation from Tulas, make them have them back and forth. Yeah, so we can
And that the mindset there is why. All right, the reality is that. Hold
on, Sir Gaynor. Hold on. Let Mr. Martin make his point.
The reality, you're saying that the reality, the average woman is the wrong woman because he buck up on the wrong man. Because you ever hear the saying, say every woman is a freak if he meet the right man? If a woman meet the right man also, you bring out things in her what she never knows exist.
There is also the saying, you know, hear me good on this guy, it's on low. You hear me?
Yeah.
There is no, all right, every good woman was made good by a good man.
Yeah.
You hear that? Nobody no put on out there. Oh, I'm good, come and get me. Yeah. Everybody tainted by some kind of cultural belief or some kind of deviation from some kind of path. So it comes back down to the putting together again. And as I said previously, I am not attacking your faith. Because that seems to be what this is. I not attack your belief. You good with that. Him good with it. I'm good with over here, sir, too. As we say.
I have a problem.
One idiot at a time, sir.
I have a problem with
because them are going to be idiot when they're ready. Me rather cope with one of them when me focus on and say I eat this.
I understand what you say, but mindset and everything, you got to attract what you look for.
That's it. No, that's me trying to show you how reality. You see me as a man?
All right. Reality is what is obsolete. Look at me.
Yeah.
I have two females for 13 years. Yeah. When we met, we were working at 9 to 5. Yeah. First year into our relationship, we resigned our job and haven't worked for anyone since. And that is based on the teamwork.
So again,
my lady...
Hold on, Tulux, just make him finish him point. We don't want any crosstalk. Curly, sorry. Let's let him finish him point. We don't want any cross-talking. You know, it's a respectful forum.
Based on the fact that I have the experience of having two solid females. And people always say it, and I've had girlfriends throughout the period of having my two ladies too. And still meet powerful, solid girlfriends. So why is it me can't find 2, 3, 4 women who help me to do what I do in a life, work out what I work out in a life, help me raise my kids, them help me start business. But other men can complain daily, so no good woman out there. And me can't find 4.
Polygamy or monogamy, same set of people them with the same set of motivations, with the same set of culture, with the said set of belief, the said wrong way 3/4 of the time to look for successor. You understand? It's the same, or you see the same way the monogamous woman can pretend, or the same way the two of them will pretend to. When them ready, them still in a Babylon, still have a certain way for approach success, and them all do what them need to do, and it a go work or it not go work based on who involved. a whole heap of nuances to it.
I think that is our assumption.
So, if I may jump in. So, Curly, I don't know what kind of relationships you had in the past, but your son.
Wait a minute.
I mean, based on how you talk about relationships both ways, it sounds like I'm just asking. Well, maybe not asking. I'm not judging. I'm just from my perspective and calculation of what you are saying. It comes off like you've had some rough relationships.
I know, say no.
Right?
I've experienced, I've observed.
Oh, okay. So no, I'm
some
just saying.
Seriously
I'm just saying it comes off like you've
terrible
had
things, and I'm saying I know why them don't work a certain way, because I am a certain kind of man. I mean, know a maturity to save my own them.
All right, cool. So I just wanted to find out if it was a rough,
sir.
if it was a rough
Based
journey.
on reality when me I look on. Me not have to fully 100% experience something for understand it.
Good. I also recognize that you have you haven't selected one of these ways of having relationships, monogamy or polygamy.
You mean? They not say one idiot. What that mean?
All right. Oh, we never did a pretty idiot part. All right. You say one idiot, but all right. So I guess you're
one at a time. Pastor, you go ahead.
Yes, right? But the other thing, in general though, ladies and gentlemen, as men, we're sitting here having this discussion for women many times, because no. When I say that, I mean, we are here talking about polygamy and monogamy. I'm pretty sure if we had a group of women, though it's man talk, I'm just saying, their view on it would be very different. Scarcely you find women who want to have or who are comfortable with the idea that they are going to be number 2 or number 3, and it's a slippery slope. Well, I said scarcely. I never said indefinitely.
On my platform, 85% of my supporters are females.
Yeah, man. But again, I said scarcely because there's no stats.
Hold on. Let Pastor Hutchinson finish, and then we'll take a point.
Yeah, man. Let me just finish. So I am saying, when you look at having 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, I was saying to my brethren here, it's a slippery slope, because you mentioned that you have 2 wives for 13 years, plus you had girlfriends in between. And I am saying, from polygamy especially, it is a sweet topic for a man, because he is the one. Bear in mind, if I'm looking at how I presented, and not because I use my phone, that's just where I stored my notes. So I could mention them same way without, right? The pen is more powerful than the mind, right? And so I am saying, when you look at it, my friend here said he's from Nigeria and he was born in it. I've been to Africa more than once, and I have friends in Africa, South Africa, Kenya, who they were born in certain things, but they chose a polygamous lifestyle because, again, my biblical perspective and foundation of what shapes society is my foundational argument that even though one was born and created in a certain culture or a certain kind of thinking, the Bible is still a fed to reason and grow in a certain way. Bear in mind, you might have two sets of families who are practicing polygamy, like my friend over here, and to them it's working and it's proactive. But if you launch polygamy, a wide-scale polygamous society, you might not find the same outcome. You might not have the same outcome. It's just like, quote-unquote, let me not use that example, but what I'm saying is, he mentioned the beast and the inside, and men were created. Men were wired for sex. And that's no two way about it. We were wired for sex because we are the initiators. We are the hunters. We look for women. We go after them. We date them. We choose them out of 500. We choose one. But it doesn't mean necessarily that God created us to be polygamous. He created us for sex. There's nowhere in the Bible that says God created us to be polygamous. No, that lion and beast that we're talking about inside of us, it's useful. It's useful to find a woman. It's useful to pick a wife. It's useful to take care of her and your kids. It's useful to defend her. But God has not called us to subdue ourselves to the popular and the flesh and the beast inside of us. Because faithfulness is what God requires. And finally, there are way more things in the game. So I am saying there are more to gain as a human being and what God created us to be when we have self-discipline, faithfulness, integrity, wanting a second, but because you know that God created you to love and to love deeply and to love in a way that will share with somebody that you really, really, really cherish them. That has more benefits in a relationship than a polygamous one.
All right, so we'll take a point from Courtney, and then I have a question from the floor.
All right, so one thing I'll disagree with you with, Rev, is that we are not naturally polygamous. Remember the Bible say, you know, the same Bible, say you have to kill your flesh daily, you know. It is then Rev, let me ask you this. If it was natural for us to want sex from one partner, why do we have so much cheating? Why do we have this a lot of adultery?
Because we're not robots. We have free will.
No. Yes, and yes, but I am saying, remember, the Bible itself says you have to kill your flesh daily. And I'm saying the flesh make you want to do these things. No, Rev. But that we are talking about. The things that are good are usually hard to come by. It takes discipline. Just like him explained with the dieting. Like it's easy to eat foolishness on it daily. And it is easy to just go out there and leave yourself careless for any woman. That's why I'm saying it is a natural thing.
Seriously, the brother. Oh.
Yeah, man. So I'm saying that you have to get up on a daily and make decisions to fight against your flesh, to fight against what the animal wants to do.
That is it.
Yeah, you can't just allow it to run rampant and do whatever it wants to do. So that's the one point I will disagree on you. I think it is easier to go and find multiple women attractive and want multiple women, but it takes a high level of it. Because like me work hard, mother want and I still have that animal within me where mother want 4 or 5 women. And trust me, like when me tell us I hit the jackpot in terms of who me marry, like I am very much attracted to my wife. It doesn't mean that I don't see punchy. Yeah man, it's cool. It don't mean.
And a number of philosophers, I think most of them would agree that we would have come to the same conclusion that it is wrong, morally wrong to kill and to steal. So I don't think the Bible gets any other points for that. I'm saying monogamy in today's society is not working. We're talking about the social impact. The high level of divorces, the cheating, the paternity fraud. You know, the number one cause of divorce is marriage. Yeah. It sounds simple, but that's not true. Yeah.
That's true. I agree with you.
Yeah. And then to Mr. Martin, I want to ask him about the type of polyamory that he is practicing, because the pastor is wrongfully, he's not educated on polyamory. He's talking about a free-for-all. You do have structured polygamy. You have solo polyamory, hierarchical polygamy.
Because it was something that I was going to address after the pastor was done talking. He was speaking about polygamy as a free-for-all. That's right. There are different dynamics of polygamy. So once you enter into a relationship like this, you have a conversation with the partner that you're venturing into this kind of relationship with. And in this discussion, you're going to decide, is this a closed triad? Are you going to open it up? You have open polygamy. You have closed off polygamy where you only have 2 partners and that's it. You don't venture out. Where my polygamy was concerned, is it is together, utilizing the team to do more important things than just the sexual aspects of it. So there are different dynamics of polygamy. So what you're throwing out there is nonsense. And what you're doing is assuming that ladies will do this and men will do that. And I'm talking from experience.
Yes. All right, cool. So I'm supposed to answer that the Bible is not the foundation of the legal system. Of course, when I mention that, I am talking about a lot of things that are mentioned in the Bible. Look, God is the creator of heaven and earth. And stealing, whatever it is. Say again? Oh, okay, thank you, sir. Right? Lord God, nobody going to that, no. I different something that, no, brother. I am going to say, but I already said it's inherent. It comes from God. And
all right.
So that was one question. He mentioned about the different groups of polygamy. In my view, brother, you might say we go in for cheat only to have one person, but then we change your mind and do that, and then this, and then in retrospect, it is still polygamy. You might have different ways of people organize their polygamous life, but we don't have the time to go into all of them and so on. So we're just talking about, I just introduced polygamy on a general basis, because we don't have the time. Polygamy is polygamy. It's not monogamy. It's the opposite of monogamy. If I know one woman you have...
Afternoon, gentlemen. Afternoon, everyone. And of course, I'm enjoying the discussion here. I have a question for everybody on the panel. One question: do you believe that we are practicing monogamy? Because let me tell you something. I don't agree that monogamy is one at a time. I don't agree that's monogamy. As a matter of fact, that's an unstructured way of doing things, how we do it. Currently in Jamaica, I date her, I discard her, I move on to her, discard her, move on, and that is what we have been doing. And we have now been reaping the repercussions of that. Because, for example, if I, as a man, want to have 3 wives, I am viewed, I should be locked up, yes? However, it is perfectly fine for me. Life, that is monogamy. If you're practicing anything outside of that, you're not serious about monogamy. Because monogamy is a serious relationship structure, and I think that is where we need to go with the conversation then, to say, all right, we want monogamy as a society. So therefore, if you will get Mary and Jane pregnant, you can go to jail.
Alan,
because that you're going counter to monogamy.
I get your
I'm passionate about it, but
me know you're passionate
about it because I want us to go into it.
Make we go in there now.
Yeah, make we go in there.
So one. Monogamy is all about having one partner. No, we are not. We are fallen people. We are human beings. Wait. No, Alan, you have to make me answer you, brother. You have to make me answer you. Alan, unless you tell me I have to have one job for the rest of my life, and I can't get another employment. No, listen to me, Alan. A man is a human being and a woman is a human being. Although God intended for marriages to last or a relationship to last or whatever it is, because it would be good. Hear this. We're living in a broken world. You can't have a perfect system. It's a broken. You are broken. I am broken. He's broken. We are all broken people. You cannot have a system where a matter of fact, the world and itself and human beings will prove you wrong. The world will prove you wrong and human beings will be relationship mash up. We not introduce nobody else in that relationship. That is monogamy. What do you mean where that come from? I don't understand. What do you mean? But we went through the foundation already. We talk about the biblical concept of monogamy and some on polygamy and so on. So I am saying that is not, and let's talk about the paternity quickly because I know you're passionate about it. When a woman gives a man jacket Because we talk about the high paternity, fraud and these things that we're realizing in the country. That is good that we can realize it, So I hold if a man I get jacket and sometimes the man knows that the pick and a female until probably my file for the child and the child have to do a blood test and DNA test and blah, blah, blah and medical. But even to that extent, the woman hid it. You know why she hid it? Because she no want John no say and a film pitney. If it the males.
I think the question he asked is, are we practicing polygamy or monogamy in Jamaica?
I think we're practicing monogamy more.
I went to the...
Hold on, let Mr. David make his point. Give Mr. David a chance to talk.
I went to the embassy to become a citizen of Jamaica, and the first question they told me, they said, you are from Africa, and you are from Nigeria. Remember, you cannot marry 2 wives now? That is the first thing they told me. And I asked them, are you monogamy? They said yes. In my mind, I know that, I don't have accurate statistical data, but I know that 60 to 70% of Jamaican men predetermined in their mind that when they marry, tomorrow they are going to put that one off and marry another one.
Because this woman is a suitable partner for me, I'm going to do it according to the Bible. There would be no sex. So, and the earlier definition of monogamy is a sexual relation. So if I am dating and I'm dating according to biblical terms, it don't really matter because I'm not having sex. So it wouldn't be. So it wouldn't be classified as a. It couldn't be classified as polygamy because there was no sex. You get me? So, no, exactly. So so you date Catherine, it don't work out, you move on. And if the truth is, if you're doing dating in its purest form, I don't see what's wrong with, all right, I'm going to take out Catherine tonight. Next week, no, you have unofficial polygamy. Like, we know what's going on with the Stewarts, with the splitting of the estate, and this people don't know if for them to run it. And when you have polygamy, because we could say it was a form of polygamy that caused the family to have one set of kids over here, one set of kids, and now there is fighting in the courts. Yes, man. So we talk a lot about the pros of polygamy, but we don't look into the intricacies of the cons, and it can cause a lot of confusion, especially if it's not executed properly.
All right, so we're going to take a question from virtual land, and this is actually directed to Mr. Gaynor. Curly locks. So based on curly locks, all women are idiots and men are encouraged or hold on, I'm just advocating from virtual land, right? So based on curly locks, all women are idiots and men are encouraged, or he has decided to choose one idiot. Whoa, what a disrespect to our women, whom the Almighty created in His image and likeness. Again, wow. Maybe we should not be in this forum. Mr. Gaynor, you can answer. What's her name? Miss Palmer.
All right, Miss Palmer, whole heap of respect. First and foremost, I want to say to you, if you wasn't able to grasp and you take it that literal, then you possibly shouldn't dare, so watch this. Virtually. Well, you're there, so virtually. You get to me, I say? What I am talking about is, humans are going to have problems when they interact. And people are going to have issues where they have to work out. Things where they hold on to certain values and certain things. Remember, when people there, a two set of experience where bring come together to try and make work, No matter who you buck up is a whole total set of values and experience you carry, you have to come make it work. When I say idiot, I don't literally mean say them an idiot. It means that some of the time them can be foolish. Me too. All of us.
Understand me? When I work for him, probably work for that person. Yeah. Understand me? With Alan, I understand how Alan talks. Passionate about it where marriage concerned, but I'm talking from a man's perspective. Sometimes the woman I find out, try to find out too, you know. You understand me? If you remember that, you know, it's not always about the men, you know. The women also are trying to find out if she compatible with a person, you know. You understand me? So she want, like how you want double in a fear mindset, she got double in a year mindset same way. You understand me? And probably when you go stand up on a certain level, I want up on a certain level, guess what? You probably, the man would not work. You understand me? The man can be the one where break and make the relationship, you say. Me work with that one. Yeah. She see some red flags, you know, and still running just because all that too, you know. You understand me? But by and large, when it comes to relationship, we can't have all the listening in the world and say this and say that. It comes down to the person where you and them compatible. You understand me? Choose all of them that want to put on the list. And this is not compatible with, and this is not work with, and it will work. Him have two. Can watch it now. Look how weird it is. Him find two, but yet still have a few. Him still never satisfied. No, think about it. A man that thing say, yo, me have two women now, good. But guess what? Father God makes so much beautiful queens out there. And it come down to how we stay. Because focus with the animal instinct and all these things are rare and rare. Guess what? Him still gone on the attack. I remember say, if you dress a certain way and look a certain way and have a certain thing, you don't have to end up look at a woman neither. She goes some walls into you. But here what? Him still never disciplined enough for say, but don't have two already, you know, me alright. But guess what? Him still open the door the same way. You understand me? The general out there, so him goes and say the right thing. If you live by the Bible, it's hard. Very hard to live by the Bible. Because here what? You see, if you do good, it's not easy for you just consistently do good, you know. It come like you go and go in your house. Your house clean. You go say, boom, take off your shirt. Just put it at the washroom. It's easy, you know. Just put it at the
They attack. All right, the pastor coming out with some statistics in regards to the Bible, but he seems to not know where the word of a woman's sexuality. I don't know, can go check them stats there.
All right, Pastor, before you respond, I have a question from the audience.
Evening. Yeah, I'm pretty much like everybody else, informed, and I like the discussion. I think that I would want to take it from a biblical basis and start with the pastor in your presentation. And I was hoping for more empirical data in the presentation up there, right? But the experiences and all, it counts. Pastor, you said that Solomon, he's the most polygamous person we know. 700 wives and 300 concubines. You say that that affected him. How did that affect him?
Oh, should I answer now? Well, it affected him, number one, because the exact same thing that Solomon did in the end was something that God told him not to do. God told him not to intermarry. He should avoid having all these wives and riches in terms of putting, and horses and all this. There was a statement from God, and there was an action by Solomon, and there was also consequences. The Bible recorded those events same way. Cause and effect, and God told him not to do it, and he did. And we see the downfall of Brother Solomon in his actions.
What was his downfall again?
His downfall was there. He was worshipping every other. He had a lot of women, that's one. His riches got to him. He forgot God. And we see it come back in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, where he says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth. And he started to do all of these things regrettably, that he never. Love is communicable because we share the same thing. Jealousy, the Bible says God get jealous and we can get jealous too. And other things, but they are non-communicable characters like omnipresence, omniscience, omnipotence, being everywhere at the same time. But nowhere in the scripture spoke about God being as wired for sex and polygamous, because he's not, he doesn't need sex. Remember, sex was designed for men and women to experience intimacy and all these different kind of things. God has, nowhere in the Bible says God has a body or genital or anything that says he needs sex or anything. So sex is for us because we are human beings. But there's no, so if God doesn't need sex, then God cannot be polygamous or even to say monogamous, because there's no marriage when it comes to God. He's not married.
All right. Just tying it up. The Bible says that you have God's perfect will and God's permissive will. In the whole discussion tonight, this evening, I'm hearing things like tradition, timeless principles and timely principles in the Bible, where based on even tradition and the numerical compatibility between men and women, whereby some countries like Swaziland and those places, you have an abundance of women and it's causing a population problem, right? And it's now coming into law, and they're revising the law for men to have more than one woman in marriage. All right? Wouldn't you say that that could work?
We have problem with a lot of people on earth. We don't have enough food to feed them. Now we have manufactured chickens and all kind of other food that were created in the lab. Now we're finding out that cancer kills people, because even shrimp on CNN today, I saw they're recalling bags of shrimp that might have had different kind of conditions in it. You're always going to have dilemmas and different things in terms of population control, more women than men, more this than that, more people to be fed. But again, the end doesn't justify the means. Not because you have more women, it doesn't mean that God wants polygamy just because you have more women than men in a society. The olden days, a man's word was his bond. Fast forward now, we go before pastors and priests and those things because the law has been reformed so that you can clearly define, some people wear rings, some people don't. You can clearly define whose wife is this and whose husband is this based on a commitment that they made in the presence of witnesses and all these things. So Bible is Bible, and fast forward in today's day, you might have some differences in culture and how we do things, but marriage is still a commitment between a man and a woman, and that's it.
My final point.
Hold on, Mr. Martin. He has a final point, and then I'll allow you to retort to Pastor Hutchinson. And then we'll take 3 final questions from Madam President, Brother Chong, and the gentleman in the black shirt.
I rather like the balance that Curly Locks, came with. And it blends in with what Pastor was saying, and even what my gentleman was saying, and what personally or biologically or physically we're experiencing with this topic. God created
you. Do not touch my bottle. Why do I know the need to depend on you to decide whether you want to touch the bottle, open it, drink it, mash it up? I already said don't touch the bottle.
But Pastor, a will that is related to any kind of discipline is God's word. That's a God desire. And if you have the same desire objectively where God required, then that is God's will and word. God's life. This is how you live.
We don't always have God's will inside of us.
No, it there.
No, brother. The Bible says, me like reason from the Bible. The Bible opposes that kind of theory because man and God don't always think alike.
All right, let me say something to you. See? Morality. Knowing the difference between right from wrong was that introductivity that is God itself and what God is about. Then it is God's will. We also have our own will too, you know.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so as long as it line up with
objective morality, the truth that we cannot escape, it is God.
God's will. Right? But I just wanted to show it that our will is not always
no, man, we have
God's
the weak
will.
side, man. Cool. We have the weak side to cause the conversation right now.
All right, so Pastor and Curly are aligned. We're going to take a question from President, and then we're going to have Courtney make a point, and then we'll take a question from 2 persons from the audience, and then we'll move into entertainment.
Thank you. I have a question for Mr. Martin. I know that in Jamaica we practice in quotation monogamy, right? And you have 2 wives. When there is a situation or death or some decisions that have to be made, what happens at the end? Because I know that once the law says that once the man dies, the wife, because if you marry again, if you do, how do you navigate that? And what happens now if, God forbid, something should happen to you? How does that work for you?
All right, that's a question we always get. First of all, what is marriage? What do? You go in the church and you sign one piece of paper and you deal with a contract. In regards to ensuring that your ladies are treated equally in case you pass or anything or inheritance or anything, you just write a contract.
AKA will.
You just write a contract, a will. The same thing that classifies you as a wife, you sign that paper. You don't have to go in a church to do that. You write a will, you write a contract, dividing everything equally, and they're okay. If anything happen to you, you put it in your will, you put it in the contract. If I'm in the hospital, both of them have a say, whether I have to pull the plug or not. Put it on a contract. Is a contract make you a wife? A contract can give them all legalities where that is concerned. And it's already, in my case, it's already.
So there is something called secret polygamy that is practiced in Jamaica. And it was gone out of control during the time that I was in school. It is less now. What is on the rise is jacket. So even though we don't want to describe it as polygamy and monogamy, it is still there, and it is a serious part of the society. Some of us, and I say this not jokingly, I am serious about it. I would have been in places where I have seen men who I know are in serious relationships, marriage I'm talking about when I say relationship. I want to come back to the point I want to make. Pastor, I very much understand where you are coming from, because as a churchman myself, I also agree with you that a lot of society as it is now is formed from concepts in the Bible. The first time we hear anything about law was Moses. But then again, social construct also relates to God, because God was mad with Saul for not killing how many people, yet still Moses as a rule said, thou shalt not kill. So there is a social construct even in the Bible that if you don't follow it, you don't understand how it has evolved. To Jesus coming to say, it's because of the hardness of our heart why we divorce women, but he does not recognize divorce. One man, one wife. So therefore, we have to follow that social construct. I love that.
So the young man in the red said something about the population in which country again? Swaziland, yeah. And my answer to you is, we should not be using polygamy as a solution for that problem. Whenever you see men literally dying out in a society, we should be tackling the issue of why are the men either being incarcerated. We throw at that problem. We need to find out what are the men doing wrong, why you have slightly more boys being born than girls, but we're still ending up with less eligible bachelors at the end of the day. Whether prison, death.
Oh, we know, and I don't want to go into data, because we can talk about data and statistics all we want. We are aware that single parenthood in Jamaica is an issue. Do we agree with that?
Worldwide.
Good, worldwide. Yeah, but let us bring it here. It is a big issue here. Single mother household is a big issue here. Yes or no? Okay. We're not fixing it by pretending that we're monogamous. We're not. Eh? No, man. No, man, because you bring out the point about hypocrisy. So, I'll leave it as that. But we're not fixing it by pretending to be monogamous. How we fix it really, well, polygamy can work. But what I'm saying is that we have to look at that as an issue. These single parent household, we have to bring that down. How do we bring it down? We have to get
creating families and breaking them up and walking about them business all free willy. I think that if we want to solve this single parent household problem, people must be very serious when they're talking about relationship, and we mustn't treat sex as something casual. I mean, it is, as I say, following the Bible is very hard. What am I virgin there? Come, you love my wife dearly too, you know. So it takes a lot of self-control to just lock in and don't stray from the commitments that you have made.
Let me build on that quickly. And to add, I'm building on what he's saying, because that's very good. A part of the solution, which to me is not polygamy, is to also connect our older, more conscious males. Like a young man is growing. One of them called me yesterday and came to my house. I baptized him 10 years ago. His father is not around, and him come. He's at my church now. 10 years. I watched him get a job. I watched him. I was the best man at his wedding. That guy would have been dead by now, following all kind of company. But Nigel is one of my mentees out of the many, and he came to my house yesterday. We sat and we chat and everything, and that's how we are. It works. Polygamous relationship is not the only thing to narrow down boys finding their purpose and marriage. And yeah, we want parents to find good men and so on, and they can marry or whatever it is. But you want to solve some of the problem with our boys especially, and even our girls, mentoring on the male and female side and attaching our young people to programs and institutions and organizations like church will help them and motivate them and all.
Should never be categorized as dealing with the child alone. You should also focus on the issues of the mother, and everything that you have just said was directed at the child.
Hold on, Pastor and Mr. Gaynor. We have the final question from the floor, and then we're going to be moving into the second segment.
Yes, Pastor. Yes, so I think the whole genesis of moving from order to chaos started with sin. Sin is the genesis of the breakdown in society and so on. I think the undertone of this discussion at times seems like we want to get personal, but are people who are monogamous thinking that they are morally superior to people who practice polygamy and vice versa? I'm wondering. And then
before you say no, let me really address that right, and then you go on. See?
I just have three things to go to show. Let me get you. Right. Yes. So.
What him do no bother me none at all.
But monogamous people fight polygamy when polygamous people now fight monogamy.
These are the thing, me done. You think everybody are you.
No, me I say overall, you're going
them
to have
fight.
a monogamous person, more defensive of monogamous.
You do what you want, do, brother. As long as my wife and I want to feel woman, me good. Me all right.
But, Mr. Martin, if you follow your scenario, you know, what you're going to end up with is 20% of the men have 80% of the women, according to the Pareto rule. So, polygamy favors not only men, but high-value men.
What really caused that? We are going for falsities, easy narratives. Some things from she 14, and I'm telling her, say, go and just be wild and do what you want. Do nobody never tell you nothing. Without realizing that early choices have consequence later. Yeah. This is what caused the single motherhood. Me not lie. Him body no, me know say him kill the youth, but me not know there's something I want to understand. He is attracted to the foolishness where you know it's going to hurt you. And you keep going after that. The man who is structured is unattractive. There's a system where push that narrative constantly. Let me show you something about media. When them call the advertisement the rule of what? 11 or 12? Where after 12, 11 or 12 time you watch a commercial. At first, foolishness. 7th time, look around. 12th time, which part of something they sell? Again, me bring up back that. Because what? Just like we have sexual urges. We have the urge to eat, we can't eat, don't? Just like how we make for sex. But we don't make for sex everything. Just like how we don't make for eat everything. Some things make you healthy and some things make you unhealthy. So you have to make, you have to make order out of chaos. And the rule they now go ever change. We cannot get everything one time, and I think we believe that. Too much people who believe so we should get everything one time and happy. Happy, what is happy? Happiness is coming to terms with the fact that you're not going to always happy. The word of, I'm not going to use the word. Yeah. It's rough all about. You have to accept it in order to fix your way in it. Chew my block. Yo, chew. And my father, you know, I eat him like poison, I'm if I tell you. Me the eat the bread of the till. You see when me become a big man? And the man drop out and me come. See, say, this never so bad. Licking and miggle, study 20 words, use them in a sentence and know the meaning of them. Had a wicked boy this, you know. Me couldn't see it. And him did brave enough. If take the hatred, because I know me never understand. I never want to be my friend. He did that prepare me for a world where I'm not going to always, you know. And me wasn't him biological son.
Yeah.
Men, stop caring about who hate you when you do the right thing. Please. You think about the dog I feel away and I say, right, and I'm just watch things, Weak. Punk.
One must be godly. So no, I don't think I am better off. I just think I am here to reason, and I believe that's what the Bible says, and I think if the Bible designs it designs it for my good. And even though my brethren over here, as he says, he's living out fantasies of a lot of men, but I don't always believe that we should all live out every fantasy, right? But I mean, I don't know if he will change. That's what I'm saying. Precisely. I'm not here to change his mind. Well, I'm not here to change his mind. I'm here to present my position on the topic. I mean, that's it. To answer one of your questions, I remember you asked that. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right, so whether you choose to be monogamous or you have to set up yourself in a way to provide for a family. You have too many men out there talking about relationships and then can't provide for themselves. Take care of yourself first and make sure so you're in a position to take care of a woman before you think about relationship. If you're there at school, sort out the exams them. You're in the workplace, get to a level where you can provide for yourself and a family before you even start think about relationship.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just like I said in my introduction, we have to be men enough before we get into marriage. And what I mean, before you get somebody that you pick, you have to ask. I know this is a man.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Tonight I was very timid in regards to approaching this from yesterday because I'm very controversial on certain topics, especially on my life. To approach it from a religious standpoint, it would get into a totally different conversation, lead somewhere else. And also, I kind of held back in regards to having a conversation about the spiritual aspects of sexual energy and having multiple partners, the right set of partners on in society right now. I am in the process of writing a book, and I'm going to give you guys a little piece of it, an exclusive piece of it, that says to end monogamy versus polygamy. The book is called Whispers of Selfishness. Monogamy is emotional and spiritual mediocrity, a cage with bars woven out of social kryptonite threads, forcing you to dilute your true purpose of existing, and that is to be all you can be. Women weren't made from a man's rib. They were developed from his essence. And this wasn't only placed in one woman. It was dividing amongst the entire woman species. And more women a man interacts with spiritual awareness, of course, the closer he gets to divinity. Polygamy is freedom. Freedom to conquer, freedom to interact and evolve, freedom to unite separated energies that needs each other.
Of all of that. And at the end of the day, I don't know if my mobile brethren set up one different way. But I think a part of you yearn for the connection there. Every time you talk to somebody where you respect, somebody where you rate in any kind of way, the connection, there are synapses in the brain where develop a certain way, if you make a certain connection, form. And the connection there is what motivates the continuance of something we're supposed to be great. And I think if you try the connection there with more than one people, it is like you ever hear you try to do 10 things one time, you don't get one thing done. It's more like that.
Oh, see there? Yeah, bigger than big. All right, so yeah. Good? Right in the center here, sir? Oh, so right here. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Forgive us, everyone. They're just trying to get the logo.
All right, gentle folks. I get to understand, sir. We want to do things, but we're going to do it right, so. Prezi, on behalf of the, yeah, man, we have to do it the right way. This is Man Talk 101, and you're the first female president for the Jamaica Civil Service Association. Outside of what the public believe, we love you as men, Madam President, and one of our role, our multiple functions of men is to protect women and children. Prez. 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 One second. Let me do my presentation, please. I want to leave here in one piece. Madam President, on behalf of the Men's Coalition Committee and all the men here present, I'd like to present you with this token of appreciation on behalf of us. Yeah, you're going to present to the audience. Yes. So, Madam President, we're going to ask you to stand here, and then we're going to ask you to present to the gentlemen if you, well, it's kind of like a polygamous thing we're doing. But anyway, let's focus. Focus, brothers. Let's focus. She's going to be presenting a gift, a token of appreciation to the gentlemen on the stage. And so we will take it in no particular order, just to say we're just going to be going ahead. So I'm going to ask you to present Sir Ryan. I want you to grace the stage. And
you have to give him 3. Yeah, man, a 3, him forget.
Yeah. All right. So if you notice, the tokens is for him specifically. So I don't know, I'm going to work it out when him go home, I guess. Another conversation. At this time, okay. Sir David, we want to thank you. She again, anyway. You caught that for history. Good. All right. She wants to present to the pastor. All right. All right. All right. Sir Chaz, on behalf. No particular order. All right. And Sir Patrick, we want to appreciate. Yeah, man, you're in it too. Yeah, man. Yeah. On behalf of us. Yes, Madam President, that is it. Thank you so much for doing the honors. Now over to you, MC.
All right, and you know we can't forget you, our wonderful audience this afternoon. So we have a few giveaways. I want to see who was actually paying attention at the start of the presentations. So if you are listening, you have the chance to win something. So firstly, who can tell me, where does Pastor Hutchinson work? At a church. Well, that means that you weren't paying attention. He manages a line for Sagicor, but where does he actually work? Come front. You've done yourself a wonderful prize. Pinnacle Insurance Brokers. See him bringing the prize here. We can ask. Just give him a thermos. You can ask Nikhil. Yes. All right. Second question. How long has Mr. Martin been practicing a polygamous relationship? He had his hand up first. Huh? 13 years. Come to the front. Thank you, my good sir. All right. And Mr. Gaynor has been nominated for what? Prestigious award in the music world. Put up on your hands. Grammy, correct. Come to the front, please. And I'm going to give one final question. I want to see who was really paying attention. In Pastor Hutchinson's presentation, he listed some empirical data. Where was the study done? No. Blue shirt. Brown University. You are correct. Yeah. All right. So at this point in time, we'd like to invite to the stage someone who is musically gifted. The last time he was here, he performed a cappella and moved the crowd and thanked the fathers for doing such a wonderful job. I want to bring him to the stage again. And his moniker is on his face. Please welcome to the stage, Brother Shades.
Blessings, blessings. That man say, oh no, I'm giving a rhythm. Come on, man. What? Come on, man. Yo, man, I tell you lie. You say from, I am. Anyone of them can play. From me, invited to Mantalk. Believe me, this is the most engaging one. And the panelists that were selected, trust me, very impressive. I love the interaction between everybody and everything. You understand? And the points, well taken. Oh, no, sir. Oh, no, go on with it. I can't introduce myself to you, know, before even read him to you, know. Because a lot of people have asked me, so what my name or who I am, you know. All right. You can turn up? Yeah. The mother asked me. My name Winston Ebert, me say you know Winston Riley. Full of cell and pattern like Michigan and Smiley. Clean to me steps and nobody that try style me. Wear so much shades people think them blind me. Smoke me. Alright, but like how it sound. Yeah. So I'm just introduce myself first, because people are asking me say, who am I? Let's take it down a notch little. You know? I should have started. Come and say your body feels. Ready? Alright then. My name Winston Ebert, me say you know Winston Riley. Full of style and pattern like Michigan and Smiley. Clean to me steps so nobody that try style me. Wear so much shades people think them blind me. Born 1979, precisely for a Wednesday, October 24th. Precisely, cool, calm and collected, you can't hide me. One man will pray to and the Almighty. Hypocrite and parasite, tell them avoid me. Place where me come from, dirty and grimy. Me make the money, no boy never. Me say me face never. Hey, when me say you me this. Me say I me this, Winston Ebert Chase. Me say I me this, Yeah, me say I me this. No talk to me friend no realist. When me say I me this, me say I me this. If you not see it, tell me no them a go pray this, I me this. Level it. Alright. Me know say all for people there in say we are Jamaican. Me can't hear no say Jamaican please. More hear no. You know what, Jamaican? Let me hear no man. You not talk around this, you not talk around this, man. Come on, no, man. Hey, me full of skill like a Brazilian, but we are Jamaican. Woman, we Brazilian, yes, she are Jamaican. Us in a with the cause we are Jamaican. We are. The way we run, the way we walk, you know we are Jamaican. The way we talk, because they know we are Jamaican. Look, most in our, no, we are Jamaican. We are what? We are what? So we not like nothing, we're funny. No wrap up with remote. You owe me and disrespect could be there like a dummy. See, I'm blind, you're on the pretend you are a dummy. Cause if you're in for me, get a visit from chicken back who love it. Camille with Tony. Rasta bun poke but the dread them love it. Who love them mother but I'm not worried about the mommy. Unless they want for up up in a sheet like me full of skill like a Brazilian, but we are Jamaican. Woman we are Brazilian, yeah, she are Jamaican. Hustling away the DNA, we are Jamaican. We are what? We are what? The way we run, we walk and know we are Jamaican. The way we talk, we coast to coast, know we are Jamaican. Look, boss in our, know we are Jamaican. We are what? We are what? We are Jamaican, so we unique at the mountain with the blue peak and the rock and the guards with the split. 2G, drop it water for us again. You pull it up. Give me the next song. Next rhythm. Give me the next song. Yeah. Turn up little. Come on, you rhythm. Alright. Yeah. Sometimes we go through some things in our life. And we wonder some people do something. But here what? Before them give us strength, them give weakness. Nice point up a night, speechless. I can't believe my friend want my life in Jesus Christ. My speechless.